So, in your experience, what are the most common risks, and what proactively can one do to identify and mitigate those risks in an organization?
I mean, I think the biggest risk is where something comes at a complete shock to you and a surprise, but you should have seen it coming. Okay, so the identifiers are there early. So what we're talking about is lead versus lag indicators. Most organizations are operating with lag data. So, retention, attrition, sickness, or whatever. Some organizations aren't tracking some of this stuff, which shocks me really, because you ask them like, what's your sickness level, and they're kind of going, oh, too sure. I mean, that should be just there. But just because people are in the organization doesn't mean they're not sick. Because, presenteeism is through the roof. So there's a lot of things going on. And really the ability to be able to have lead indicators, which actually give you a sense of where it's going. And if you're tracking this and you're doing, a trend diagram, and you kind of go, okay, we're seeing something here that it's telling us that anxiety levels are growing in the organization. So for example, we'd ask a statement about appetite. Do you have a good appetite? And people are often saying, like, what has that got to do with anything, right? But the reality is there's five key indicators with regard to anxiety levels. Number one, like if you see the energy levels of people drop, that's number one, right? By itself, not a big maybe issue, a little bit of concern, but couple that with your sleep. Your sleep starts to really be affected. And then the optimism levels, which we're also checking for. Your sense of the future and positivity around your career and the like, if that starts to just go off and things that maybe used to give you a sense of joy don't give you joy anymore. And then that appetite, you start to suddenly not really be interested in food anymore. All of those things coming together, whoa, that's now telling me that there's anxiety in this division department. It could be the whole organization. And I'm seeing this and I'm going, this is the start of something. Now we need to jump in now before it becomes a big issue. Because if we can nip it at the bud now, happy days. Whereas if this actually ends up with people coming, our best performers turning around and going, yeah, listen, I've found a job elsewhere. I'm on my way. And you kind of go, oh, don't go. Like we'll pay you more, but it's too late.
Yeah, yeah,
And this is the thing I found with the younger generations coming into the workforce. They're kind of taking like, you know, bags and free food and all that stuff. They're kind of going like, we're past that. You can't kind of sell us on that, right? There's kind of things that we take it are just going to be there in a decent workplace. But it's the piece around sort of flexibility and being able to personalize things, the level of control that I have, the demands that have been placed on me, the remote working, whatever. It's those things that are actually going to decide whether I have a healthy environment. My relationship with my manager, absolutely key critical. Like there could be war going on in the organization, but if I've got a really good relationship with my manager, I'm insulated from that. And that relationship is probably more important than the one I have with my doctor. Because I'm like hanging out with this person all the time.
yeah.
They're giving me feedback and the like. So it's really that's sort of and what we're seeing in organizations is that like the burnout piece is coming. Like we've got the indicator, which actually is a burnout indicator, which tells you when it's medium, low, or like, and the protective factors that are at play. There's a great interview with Wilmar Shafeli, who talking about that. And one of the things that stood out for me when I was talking to him, he was sort of saying, "Watch out for cynicism, because that's a sign associated with burnout."